Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Just Nerds, and I'm making another YI video. But while my last two YIs have been a bit more on the negative side, I'm going more positive this time with my reasons for why I love Kiznaiver. This would normally be discussed in a review, but I thought that my love for Kiznaiver couldn't be expressed through the formal structure, so I decided to do it this way instead. Kiznaiver is one of the latest anime from the spring 2016 season and the newest show from Studio Trigger. I've always shown my love for Studio Trigger, so I was super excited when it was announced. Of course, I was a bit worried since Trigger has always been a bit unpredictable, but nevertheless, I was still excited. And ever since the first episode, Kiznaiver surprised me so much by how great it turned out. Now, the most important thing for me in any show is the characters and the development they go through. For those who haven't seen it, Kiznaiver follows 7 characters that pretty much represent the 7 archetypes in anime, including the goody two-shoes, the immoral, the musclehead, the weirdo, the high and mighty, the cunning normal, and the unemotional. And these typically cliche characters go through an experiment where they're connected through their pain. And that's the perfect setup for a lot of great character development. And that's exactly what Kiznaiver delivers. Throughout the series, we get a great look into these characters, why exactly they became the way they are, and how they end up changing one another. The changes these characters go through are amazing to see, from characters with big arcs to characters with more subtle changes. It's nice seeing all these characters better themselves, and by the end, become the best of friends. Even the short runtime is a positive for Kiznaiver. 12 episodes was not exactly a lot of time to give full defining character arcs for each character, as we really only get that for 2, Honoka and Nagata. But even though there isn't enough time for conventional dedicated arcs, the characters develop in more clever ways. Honoka actually gets 2 episodes dedicated to her problems, while Agata tries to understand emotion and pain throughout the entire series. Yuta's development is shown through his actions with Honoka. Nico has plenty of moments where she makes mature and smart decisions and becomes the best character in the show, even though I thought she would be my least favorite. Hisomu doesn't actually suffer from any huge problems like everyone else, but he still does change in his own way if you look at it closely. And even though Tenga and Chidori were the weakest characters, they still have some nice character moments that show they still have plenty of room for growth. Are some choices due to the small amount of episodes? Sure, but the way they make up for it was amazing, and it just produced a great cast of characters. But even though the characters are the most important thing for me personally, the area where Kiznaiver stands out above most of the anime I've watched is in the directing. As a huge fan of television and film, I live for those moments where I just go, I need to see that again. And Kiznaiver did that in almost every single episode. The characters and writing were great, and the visuals were nice as well, but the directing brought everything together in a way that was just perfect. Especially in the area of lighting, Kiznaiver stood out from everything else airing the same season. Even though Kiznaiver is only around 20 minutes long, I would find myself watching an episode for double that time, just because I would replay scenes over and over again. So many shots were simply incredible, and I just couldn't get enough every week. Whether it was Hiroshi Kabayashi's work as the primary director, or the individual talents of each episode director, the directing came together beautifully every week and was hands down the best thing Kiznaiver had to offer. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that to me, Kiznaiver has some of the best directing I've seen out of anything really. Aside from that though, the overall theme of Kiznaiver is genuinely touching. Through the characters, Kiznaiver presents the idea that everyone is different with their own set of issues. And when we get close to people, that can get complicated. You end up sharing your feelings with others. and they share their feelings with you. It can be hard to understand somebody, and because of that, we can spend so much time trying to know what that person is thinking. So much time and effort is spent trying to understand someone, and furthermore, getting closer and closer to them can be uncomfortable, painful even. But the reason why you're willing to go through that is because they're important to you. Getting close to people, going through pain with them, and trying to understand one another is something we must all go through. But even though it's difficult, it's a necessary part of our lives, because real happiness is spent with those who matter most. Kiznaiver relates to us all, as it reminds us of what's important and how everyone wants to be special to someone. And those are the reasons why I love Kiznaiver. Kiznaiver is a really special anime that has already become one of my favorites of all time and that I think everyone should watch. I wasn't sure if I could express how much I love this show, but I think it turned out alright. This was a lot different from my reviews, and I'm thinking of doing more videos like this to spice things up a bit. So you can look forward to more from Blake and I, and don't forget to check out our secondary channel, Just Nerds 2, as well as Just Nerds on Twitter. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.